Hey guys, good to see you. Sorry, we're having some tech issues there. Camera was not doing what it wants to do. We're having issues with it actually turning on, so that's where we were at. So it was frustrating. I was trying to get it fixed up. Um, Good to see you. We're trying to finish this as fast as possible. I hate to put like a timeline on what we're doing, but the reality is we also need to finish this. I think in my own personal place, I'm trying to also just like get this over with in a sense. I hate to put it that way, but it's just true. Like for me personally, I'd like to get all of this through. What we're going to do is listen to this. We might even jump into the next one. What is interesting about this is that this is the guy who's the accountant. So I think he's going to have all of the money tracing, and that's why he is significant here. I've never heard this. If we had the time to just take a long time on it, we'd probably listen to every single person and go through the whole thing. Right now, we're just, because we have so much going on, we're just going to try to highlight a lot more than stick around for everything. So with all that, why don't we keep going? I'll get everything set up for you guys, turn on all the settings, make sure there's captions, the whole deal here. Turn on the a little bit faster. But yeah, this is only about an hour. So there's also a few more ones really quick after this, and we'll see how those go. So if we can kick into, gear and maybe get another hour one after, we might do that. We might just kick it in and do it. So what's up, guys? Thank you guys for being here. I also put up our thumbnail super late. It took me a long time to get through to it. Hey, Cassandra, how are you? Linda, good to see you. That's a complicated situation. I don't think I wouldn't necessarily do it. I think she's a really nice person. Yeah, I just think there's more to that. I don't necessarily know besides the Hawaii time what goes into that. So I think that's really it. I mean, she was her friend. She told her a bunch of stuff. I've heard all of that information. I've never listened to her testimony, but she was on a lot of different outlets for that. So, well, I don't know. We might not go to that one. It just seems that would be the only way to give what she's going to say is all of the stuff that happened just in that little time frame that she was there. So, hey, Ann. So yeah, let's keep going, man. We're busting through this thing. We're not that far off, to be honest with you. So that's a good thing. We're just got a few more things to get done and we'll be ready. So let's get started today. It's good to see you guys. And let me make sure everything's good. Perfect. Yeah, we were having some serious tech issues today while I was trying to get ready. So that was frustrating. It's just part of the whole thing, man. Tech is difficult to figure out. I'm not going to my box. Frick this. All right, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. If I could have my cord here. Uh-oh. I'm scared that this is going to turn my freaking mic off. It better not. Because last time we plugged it in, freaking turned me off, and I had to do a bunch of backup stuff. You guys like the marshmallows? All right, man. Let's keep going. So this is the forensic accountant that did all the money stuff. Okay, here we go.
I'd first like to inquire, have you, Mr. Douglas, reviewed any of the trial testimony before coming in today or listened in on the trial or observed it in any way?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you for that. I'll next advise you that while you're testifying, we're making a record, so please make an effort to answer all of the questions with verbal responses and try to avoid speaking at the same time as anyone questioning you so the record stays clear. So with those rules in mind, then I understand the state request to have the witness provided with copies of certain exhibits. Is that correct, Ms. Rawlings?
That's correct. I believe defense counsel is just confirming they are the same ones.
Thank you, Carrie. A lot of really long
summary
gaps.
exhibits pursuant to 1006.
Hey, Allie.
Well, I've looked at these, so I want to take them up individually. So starting with Exhibit 111, which does appear to be a summary that may qualify under 1006 of the rules of evidence. Does the defense have any objection to that being admitted?
Just if this witness can testify that these were prepared by him and what he relied upon to prepare these summaries.
All right. I think that's appropriate to have additional foundation if there's a question as to 111.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Agent Douglas, with regards to Exhibit 111, could you please look at that?
Yes, ma'am. And for the record, I should state that I'm a forensic accountant, not a special agent.
Okay.
Just to make sure that's clear for the record.
Okay, thank you. And did you prepare Exhibit 111?
I did.
What documents did you rely on in preparing Exhibit 111?
So as noted down at the bottom, Tylee had a JP Morgan Chase account that ended in 3918. This was a joint account with Miss Daybell. And then the following, towards the end.
I don't understand why they call her Daybell. Is there any shot she actually legally changed her name? Because I did not think that was the case. Because that would be really fast to get approved and change all your documentation to Daybell, right? So, oh wow, look at this. Look at that gal. That is it's a beautiful woman right there.
The marks that are in the green and the red. Tylee later had a bank account with BBVA that ended in 5794. And due to Tylee being a minor again, Miss Daybell had to be a signer on the account.
Oh my gosh.
All right, and were you provided
know that.
information or bank account information by Detective Considas with the Rexburg Police Department?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
That'd be a lot of work.
Your Honor, I believe
You do that, right? You go give the paperwork and then you literally have to change your driver's license, your bank account name. Like you have to reset when you change your name, especially as, you know, having Vallow for so many years, everything you do would have to be reset. So I don't know. I don't know if she actually legally changed her name.
information was relied upon by Agent Douglas in preparing these exhibits.
All right. With that additional foundation, any objection to Exhibit 111 being admitted?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Exhibit 111 is admitted as a summary to prove content under Rule 1006.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm still here listening.
The next offered exhibit is 112, which is a timeline. What's the offer on that, Ms. Rawlings?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I should also mention that I provided the defense an Excel spreadsheet, and I believe the court also received a copy of the Excel spreadsheet showing all of the account information and attribution and foundation for Mr. Douglas's preparation of these timelines. I believe defense counsel had difficulty opening that Excel spreadsheet that I sent, and I did provide them a hard copy of it yesterday as well.
All right. As it relates then to the timeline, I wouldn't see that as falling under Rule 1006. Is it a demonstrative exhibit?
Yes, it is, Your Honor, and I can go through the questions if you'd like.
Let me just ask then, is there any objection to Exhibit 112 being admitted at this time from the defense?
I don't believe I heard this witness say that he's the one who prepared it, relying upon what information.
All right. If you'd like to ask some foundational questions, you can.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Douglas, in preparation for your testimony today, with regard to Exhibit 112, what is that? Can you identify that?
This is a timeline relative to Tylee and events that happened in her lifetime from the death of her father, Joe Ryan, going forward.
Okay. And did you personally prepare this exhibit?
I did.
Did you prepare it in aid of your testimony today?
I did.
Did you prepare it in an effort to aid the jury in understanding all of the financial information you analyzed?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 112.
All right. Any objection as to 112?
No, Your Honor.
Very well. Exhibit 112 is admitted as a demonstrative exhibit. Let's next look at the Exhibit 113, which is also a timeline. Madam Prosecutor, if you'd like to inquire, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Douglas or Mr. Douglas, would you please identify Exhibit 113 for the record?
This is a chart or timeline that I noted as events that happened in JJ's lifetime from the passing of Charles Vallow moving forward in his lifetime.
Okay. And did you personally prepare that exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you rely on information
I was muted that whole mother freaking time. I said it's weird that there's so much pre-planning. I don't think that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain the evilness there, and just to know that they were like sitting there thinking in their brains all the time, like, how are we going to do this? You know, that's just crazy. Like to think how much time you would do that.
And financial account information that you received from Detective Considas to prepare that document.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you prepare that document to aid the jury in understanding the financial accounts and information that you analyzed as part of your work on this case as a forensic accountant?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 112.
I think that's 113.
I'm sorry, 113.
Any objection on 113 being admitted?
May I ask a question in aid of objection?
You may.
Mr. Douglas, on your timeline here, you have dates that Tylee is killed and JJ is killed.
Oh
Is that
yeah, I
part of
love that.
your
We love
accounting
having you guys
to
here,
figure
man.
out when the dates people died, or was that information told to you?
The information was told to me, sir.
Okay, so if those dates aren't correct about the dates that the children were killed, is all the other information on your sheet correct?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, for demonstrative purposes, I don't object to the exhibits. It's based upon what others told him as well.
All right. Without objection, then, and with that in mind, the court does find that it's allowable as a demonstrative exhibit, and so Exhibit 113 is admitted. Let's next look at Exhibit
Hey, Shadow.
114, which was offered. You can inquire as to that as well now, Ms. Rawlings.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Douglas, can you identify Exhibit 114 for the record?
Yes, ma'am. These are Social Security payments received by Miss Daybell after the passing of the children, or the dates given for the passing of the children.
And did you prepare that document yourself?
I did.
Did you prepare it as an aid or summary for the jury for demonstrative purposes?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 114.
Any objection on 114?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Exhibit 114 is admitted. Let's next look at Exhibit 115, which is the timeline. You can inquire, Ms. Rawlings.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Douglas, can you
Hey, Dawn.
identify Exhibit, I think we are on 115 now?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. This is a timeline that I've referenced as the
This
grant.
is actually the 2023 trial. I've never listened to it, so we're going back a little bit, trying to finish this off. Hey, Faith. So she could have gone to the Social Security after the wedding and then her license the same day to change the daybell in Hawaii. It's true. She had a lot of time. Wasn't doing anything.
That timeline that I prepared.
All right, and you prepared that yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
And you prepared that in aid of your testimony today before the jury?
That is correct.
And did you prepare it in an effort to help the jury understand the
What's up,
preliminary
Cynthia?
financial information and other information you learned through your investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I'd move for the admission of Exhibit 114 as a demonstrative exhibit.
That's 115 that
Sorry.
we're on. Any objection as to Exhibit 115?
May I ask a question in aid of objection?
Yes.
So,
We love you too.
Mr. Douglas, again,
Thank you for
relying
being
on
here.
information told to you from the police as to dates of death of Tylee, JJ, and Tammy.
That is correct.
So that's not part of your forensic accounting, is to figure out when and where people died, but that was information that was told to you.
Yes, sir.
With that explanation, Your Honor, I don't have any objection to the exhibit.
All right. Then Exhibit 115 is admitted as a demonstrative exhibit. There's another timeline that's Exhibit 116. If you'd like to inquire on foundation for that, you may.
Thank you. Mr. Douglas, can you identify Exhibit 116 for the record?
Yes, ma'am. That is a timeline of the life insurance relative to Miss Tammy Daybell.
And did you prepare that in aid of your testimony today?
I did.
Did you prepare it as an aid to assist the jury in understanding the financial information that you analyzed in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you rely on other
Exactly.
information from other law enforcement
Yeah.
officers in preparing this exhibit?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, for demonstrative purposes, I would move to admit Exhibit 116.
Any objection as
There
to
you go, Monica.
116?
For demonstrative purposes, I do not object.
Okay, Exhibit 116 is admitted as a demonstrative exhibit, and then finally, there was Exhibit 117 offered, and if you'd like to ask foundational questions, you may.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Douglas, for the record, can you identify Exhibit 117?
Yes, ma'am. This one I dialed the Venmo activity, and I prepared this in aid of my testimony today.
Thank you. And you prepared that yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
You prepared that to assist the jury in understanding the financial information you analyzed?
I did.
Is there any information on this document that's relying on other officers, or is it just containing financial information?
There is information on it relying on other officers.
Okay. And so you included information that you learned through your contact with other law enforcement in this investigation?
That's correct.
Your Honor, for purposes of
I'm happy to
demonstrative,
have you, Bethany.
for a demonstrative exhibit, I would move for the admission of Exhibit 117.
Excellent. Click off your chat.
Any objection as to 117?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Exhibit 117 is now admitted as well. You can continue with any direct examination at this time, then, Ms. Rawlings.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can I also ask the court to pull previously admitted exhibits 64A and B? I'll need those shortly. Yes.
Okay, we'll work on getting those ready.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Douglas, will you please state your name and spell it for the record?
My name is Michael Douglas, Michael Douglas, Douglass,
And where are you employed?
with the FBI.
What
Well,
is your job title with the FBI?
I'm a forensic accountant, ma'am.
What does a forensic accountant do?
A typical day-to-day is research and analyze financial records, post or hold interviews, and testify.
Can you describe in more detail the work you did in analyzing the financial data in this case?
So regarding this case, I reviewed nearly 80 bank accounts to include credit card statements
80?
for multiple individuals in this case.
Gosh dang.
Can you name some of the individuals? that
80
you analyzed in the bank
accounts?
Ms. Daybell, Chad Daybell, Alex Cox, to name a few, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask that you be handed, it's been marked as, previously marked as State's Exhibit 64A and 64B.
You know what it is, honestly? It's the fact that this is all the stuff that has been dormant. So it just all flies out now at this point. Yeah, I know. Even if you did 5 people, 80 is a lot, dude. 80 accounts? What the hell's going on over there? There must have been a lot of people he got their accounts, though. A lot.
Do you recognize those?
I do.
Can you tell the jury what those are?
These are bank statements in the name of Ms. Lori Vallow regarding her bank account with BBVA Compass.
And have you reviewed those records previously?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you familiar, have you reviewed other bank records on behalf of Lori Vallow?
I have.
And are you familiar with Mark Sari?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you worked with Mark Sari in relation to this case?
I have.
In your investigation on this case, have you looked into the deposits of Social Security funds into that BBVA?
That's what I'm
Compass account?
saying. 80.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you reviewed Social Security benefits being deposited into any other accounts?
Sorry, guys. I
Yes,
got
ma'am.
beyond today.
What were those accounts?
You know,
Tylee
I'm
was
going to tell you guys
receiving
something very
social-
personal, but very real and funny. I'm just going to say, because it's funny enough to break our attention a little bit. I purposely try not to eat any high fiber. Let's keep it very general. I do things like that because I don't ever want there to be the yawning. The yawning's contagious, but me, I'm trying to be cool over here. I'm not trying to hold everything in, if you catch my drifts here.
Security payments into her JP Morgan Chase account ending 3918.
You know, we go for a fat
As
minute. I
part
like
of
to
your
be
role as a forensic
my thoughts to
accountant,
it.
we've kind of gone through this a little
I don't
bit.
want to say in the middle of the
Did you
stream,
prepare
you think I
any-
muted it and go, I have to poop. You guys would kill me for that. At least Ray will come in and poop in for us.
demonstrative
We'll
aids
come
or
poop it in
documents
for us.
summarizing the amounts of the Social Security funds that were received into that BBVA Compass account.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you familiar with the timeline of the death for Tylee?
Hold on. Slow it down. Hold on. Slow it down. You know, I got to prove that I'm wearing pants. I'm just going to show you. Yes, I always wear my pants, man. I wear my pants. It's like, you know, it's just one of those things. It's just a protection. You know, what if I do have to stand up and I'm not paying? I get caught lacking here.
Tylee Ryan.
I am.
Do you know approximately when she died?
It is approximately 9/9 of 19.
Did you create a summary or a demonstrative exhibit with Tylee's financial information?
I have.
All right, and then starting with exhibit 111. I'm going to try this 2 ways, Your Honor. I have the hard copy.
Welcome,
But
Teresa.
they are on legal paper, so I'm not sure how well they'll show under the Elmo. I also have an electronic copy.
Yeah,
that we can
clothes
try
are.
and pull up on my computer.
Clothes
So,
are overrated, man.
If we can try the computer version first. The only thing is that I think that it will show if I switch screens. Yes, it will. So I think we're going to have to go with the Elmo.
You don't want to catch me lacking with no pants on. Not ever going to happen. I actually, you know what's weird about me? And I'll say this just to break it up. I like to wear my shoes all day until I'm like ready to really kick off and like relax. It makes me feel ready. So like I like to get up and get ready. It's part of routine, and just make sure that you have a like almost getting dressed as like mentality. So put gym clothes on, you go and you start your day by knowing I'm going to the gym, you come home, put on regular clothes and get your day. Continue going.
Can you explain the information contained in this document?
Yes, ma'am. So the information provided on this document are regarding Tylee's 2 bank accounts. The first one starting with her JP Morgan Chase account beginning January 1 of 2019. And the following bank account for her BBVA Compass account, the 5794.
Yeah, exactly.
Prior to August 2019.
When we lived in Hawaii, you literally put a tank in your swim trunks on all day. And that was the freest I ever been in my life.
Expenses as they can be seen on here for Tylee's pattern of life are between about 30 to 70 transactions. Those are both brick and mortar purchases, such as going to the local grocery store, and also include monthly expenses, such as her Apple account. And then the following, the red and the green, and the information provided there in August and September, both of those show, as I will show later on, when Tylee's BBVA account was open, and then the transition to the BBVA account, the closing of the JP Morgan account, and then the continued use of the BBVA account.
Okay. So how many bank accounts are shown on this document?
2.
All right. And then you explained the colors are tracking what information?
So the blue will show Tylee's deposits that were made into her JP Morgan account. The orange shows the withdrawals or the transactions from that same account. The green is associated with deposits that were into the Compass or BBVA account, and the red are withdrawals from that BBVA account.
Okay. And what account did Tylee's Social Security payments from the death of her father, Joe Ryan, get deposited into initially?
Those were initially going into the Chase account.
And how did Tylee manage her money when she had access to her JP
What the
Morgan
heck
Chase
happened to
account?
that light?
Tylee was responsible with her money. I never saw her have one negative balance.
See how bright that was.
Were any automatic payments set up for Tylee's account, for the JP Morgan account?
She had 2. She had her Jeep payment as well as her T-Mobile payment.
Okay. And did you create a timeline
the
referencing
phone.
the major?
She had to start paying for her own Jeep and paying for her own phone? What the hell is that about? Why would she have to pay for anything? Why wouldn't she have all of that saved so when she turned into an adult, she would have what she needed? Why would she have to pay for her car? That doesn't make any sense. She actually did work for a little bit, I think, in she must have been early 16. She worked. So she Tylee wasn't like, the thing that everybody tries to say, like Tylee was like, especially like the reports, like Tylee laid in bed all day, she was this and that. The reality is that she was just depressed, deeply depressed. But she had she's very gifted, very smart, and she really, like, she had ambition. She just didn't have anybody to like fully push her. Like I didn't start doing that with her till I was about 21. No, I would have been 22. No, 21. we started doing some light counseling. I've told you guys about that before with Kelsey. We both tried to help her. I was definitely not in a good place. I just thought I could help her, but I definitely did not have the credentials to do that, but I wanted to help her. And I'm not saying it's not normal. I'm just saying not in my family, not the way that everybody had everything taken care of. So I just think it's weird that she was like, yeah, you pay your bills, even though, you know, I have all this money, you pay your bills out of nowhere. That's all I'm saying. And it's not like she freaking got the time to anchor down and have a normal life. It's not like she was able to stay in one place and work and do all that stuff. So that's all I'm saying. It's not that it's not normal to do so, but everybody has different experiences. That's not the experiences that our family had. And then all of a sudden she starts getting her own money. So they're like, yeah, you pay for your stuff. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's just what it is. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think that they just had, I don't know what Lori's mentality was there. Because there must have been some plotting at this point that she was trying to get that money to herself before all this
For
started.
financial and other events for Tylee.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I publish Exhibit 112?
You may.
Let's see if we can try it. Are you able to read that, Mr. Douglas?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Can you walk me through this timeline?
So this timeline starts regarding the death of Tylee, or passing of Tylee's father, Joe Ryan. The date on that was April 3rd of 2018. It was due to her father's passing was why she received the Social Security payments. The initial Social Security payments start going into her JP Morgan Chase account on June 14th of 2018. Tylee we found in Tylee's records, I found Tylee's records that she had payments to a GED program.
It's not that it's not true, but it's not as dire as Lori said. And then when we listened to the call yesterday, she started going off. I've been with Tylee in the hospital for hundreds of days. And I was like, what? Like, no, you weren't. It wasn't as dire as Lori has now amplified it. It was bad. Tylee did go to the hospital. I think she went to the hospital though less than 10 times. And most of the time she was there for 2 to 5 days. She just made it way worse than it actually was. That's all I'm saying.
Researched that, and we found that Tylee had received her GED, and the passing date was October 12th of 2018. This BBVA account that you handed me earlier, Ms. Vallow or Ms. Daybells, was opened October 23rd of 2018.
A lot. What's up,
Joe Ryan held a life insurance policy, and the records that we obtained showed that death benefits were provided and paid into a bank account held by Ms. Daybell to the tune of just about $65,000. That deposit was October 26th of 2018. Also on Tylee's bank records, we found deposits from J&S Investments. Research found that belonged to her uncle, Dr. Jeff Shiflett. She worked for him for a couple of months. So she was having deposits into her account from Dr. Shiflett starting December 10th of 18.
And when did the T-Mobile payments start?
The T-Mobile payments started, as far as the records they provided to us, February 25th of 19.
Okay. And just if you'll continue walking through that timeline.
Okay. As I noted earlier, Tylee had her Jeep. Her Charles Vallow helped her purchase that Jeep. He's the co-signer on the application. And her initial payment for the Jeep came out June 3rd of 2019, again from her JP Morgan Chase account. And then following month, July 11th, is the shooting of Charles Vallow by Mr. Cox. A week later, there was a text message that was discovered between Ms. Daybell and Mr. Daybell about the receiving of $4,000 Social Security funds, but not receiving a life insurance payment or life insurance policy. The following week, we noticed that this was the last payment of Tylee's Social Security funds into her JP Morgan Chase account.
Can you just say the date for the record?
July 24th of 2019. Ms. Vallow had a $2 million life insurance policy. The records provided per the insurance company showed that on August 12th, Ms. Vallow had changed that policy.
I just had a theory. It's really out there. What if, stay with me here, $2 million, Chad was also into getting insurance money. What if someone else would had agreed to go polygamy with him? What if he would have killed Lori to get her money? Because he already killed his own wife, who had been married with him for years. This dude is literally a psychopath. So, and they were willing to kill kids. Do you think he wouldn't have killed Lori for that $2 million? That could have been right around the corner. Could have been right around the corner. He probably would have waited just long enough for her, then that way there's no suspicion, or he could have done it somewhere else like that in Hawaii, and she would have just disappeared too. You have no idea. If they weren't being watched, if they were not being chased down and people weren't taking pictures, I wonder how long it would have taken to get there. You think he wouldn't have done it? He doesn't love her. He has no empathy in his heart. He already turned on her as hard as he could. He already gave that all up. So imagine that had to be a possibility. I know that's a very deep theory, but he literally did not care, right? And if he could have found someone else, think about this now. If he could have found someone else, I just listened to a story very similar to this. There was a guy, an older man, who was like total like fraud guy, and he would constantly, this was back in the day where it was harder to get caught. This was like early 30s, I want to say. And he was like luring women in, saying, I can get you a job. Some of them had kids, and they kept disappearing, and he kept getting married, and he forged a bunch of stuff. And so long story short, he kept getting married and taking their money and scamming people and using their signatures and just complete fraud by killing them. And then they found them years later spread out, right? So that's the point though. Like Chad was already in that mind frame. So he could have wanted to keep going and have more women. He obviously wanted that. He was obviously trying to get what he wanted in life. And there was enough women to believe him. He pried on women. So if he would have found one other person, I mean, she had the biggest life insurance policy of anybody, had the biggest thing. And the problem is, honestly, Kaz, though, he had nothing to give, right? Yeah, she's a black widow, but she also, I don't think she would have gone. I think he would have been the one to do that. All he'd have to do is convince someone that she's dark. That's it. If he would have had one more chance to have another woman and give him the attention, it's definitely possible. That's all I'm saying. Just a theory, though.
Policy to her son, Colby, to be 100% beneficiary. Yeah.
Oh, I was right.
On August
Wait, hold on.
14th,
go back.
Funds into her JP Morgan Chase account.
Can you just say the date for the record?
July 24th of 2019. Ms. Vallow had a $2 million life insurance policy. The records provided per the insurance company showed that on August 12th, Ms. Vallow had changed that policy to her son, Colby, to be one.
August 12th? What the hell are we talking about? Wait, hold the phone. Hold on. August 12th of 19? She never said a word about that. What? So if she had died, I would have got her life insurance. Yeah, I know that. But I thought she did that a long time ago. Yeah, she never said a word about that. Right? Like I did not. So I told you guys yesterday, when I was 17, they sat me down, Charles and Lori, and said, if anything happens to us, you got to take care of the kids. Right? Oh, bring that smoke, baby. Oh, baby. I would have lit them up. If he would, I'm telling you right now, that dude would have shown up. Oh, it would have been lights out. I wish that motherfucker would. I wish, bring it. Bring it all. Oh, I would love an opportunity. I'll take it right now. Bring it. Bring that crap. But anyway, I'm getting heated because I'm ready right now. I'm ready right now. Sorry, I'm getting heated. I never knew that. Literally to this moment, did not know that they ever did that. They want to play with the big dogs, baby. They're gonna get a big bite. Well, I'm not playing. Bring it all. Oh man. Hell in a Cell, all three of them. Bring that.
100% beneficiary. Yeah. On August 14th was the date that we received, or per the application that we received from the rental.
That's a great point. But that would have been, wow. She was with Chad though. Maybe that was the only way to save herself. We're going back into theory here. She was already with Chad. They were cheating that whole time. Charles is killed. And then she names me the beneficiary of her life insurance instead of Chad, her husband. Why? Why is that the case? And she killed the kids. So what was the point of me having the money? What would be that point? Like, why change it to me? I don't understand that.
The records provided per the insurance company showed that on August 12th, Ms. Vallow had changed that policy to her son Colby to be 100% beneficiary. Yeah. On August 14th was the date that we received, or per the application that we received from the rental company that Ms. Vallow had applied for her apartment in Rexburg. And per this application, Ms. Vallow states that she's receiving $5,740 Social Security funds.
And did that track with your review of the financial information for the Social Security?
Really?
No, ma'am. No.
Yeah, but
On August 16th.
Never to this moment of today have I heard that I was getting that I would get that money. Never. Yeah, that's exactly right. Let's think strategically. The only reason they took Charles's life was to get that money from Charles, right? He only had $1 million life insurance policy. Lori had a $2 million life insurance policy. She goes and she does that with Chad, and then goes out of her way to specifically give it to me, and that's in August 12th. I have no idea. Ali. I don't know what that means. Like, I'm baffled right now. Why do that to Charles? You know you're about to go all the way, right? You know you're going all the way in with Chad. Like, you're willing to go to the deepest depths. And you believe the world's going to end, so why even make me the beneficiary? None of that adds up.
2019, Tylee Social Security payments had been changed to be deposited into Ms. Vallow or Ms. Daybell's BBVA account ending in 3229. On August 19th of 2019, this is when Tylee's BBVA account was opened.
Was that a joint account?
It was.
On
Who
my
was
brain.
on the account with Tylee?
It would have been Ms.
Fact that
Daybell.
a bunch of money. I don't care what you offered me on the planet Earth. There's nothing ever that you could ever incentivize me with on the planet Earth. Nothing. You could have a magic ball and say, Colby, I'll give you everything you want in exchange for someone's life or hurting someone. It would never happen. Not in a billion years, never. It would never, ever happen. So the fact that they were willing to do that, I just don't understand that. So that's the thing that's weird, because so if she dies, that money just goes to me. I don't want that money. I don't want that money. I don't want that ever.
August 28th, this is the initial deposit of Tylee Social Security funds into Ms. Daybell's BBVA account ending in 3229. August 31st, this is the date that we show Ms. Daybell and the children moving to
I don't want that
Rexburg.
money.
I found throughout my research on September 8th that Colby had requested Tylee to send him a Venmo payment. Venmo being a person-to-person transfer of funds or a peer-to-peer transfer of funds. Tylee responded back that she did not have the funds in her account and that Ms. Daybell was receiving them.
So again, I was actually referred to ask Tylee because this time when I asked Lori, she said, you can ask Tylee for money this time. So then I asked Tylee, and obviously I'm not proud of that, but at the same time, I told you guys yesterday, I would do the same thing for her, even if we were in different positions. I would help her in any way I can. So I dealt with that for a long time, like guilt of ever asking her for anything, but I didn't just go out of my way and be like, hey, Ty, can I have this? I really try to always go to my mom because she's my mom. And she's like, you need to go and ask Ty this time. But then she knew that when I asked her for money and then she asked Tylee for money, she already took in Tylee's money. So it's always some kind of weird place to be. I'll never understand that. So she knew for a fact Tylee didn't have money, but she still referred me and said, hey, Tylee can this time. And that's crazy. Like, that's just crazy. Like, you have to go back. There's a lot of mind warping that I've had to overcome in this situation. And now hearing this stuff just brings so much more context. I don't know how I'm ever going to forget that she changed me to her beneficiary really quickly. That doesn't make any sense. She never said a word about that ever, ever, ever.
Also that date, I wanted to note that Mr. Daybell is searching the wind direction of south-southwest. The next day is noted the homicide of Tylee. There's also an email between Ms. Vallow or Ms. Daybell to a former accountant by the name of Mike Edson, requesting information about a tax refund from a prior year of her and
exactly.
Mr. Vallow.
Especially if you're husband and wife.
Tylee's Venmo account, as I will show on later information, there is one funding source per her account at the time of her death. The BBVA account of hers was added on 9/10 of 2019, the day after her passing, her believed passing. On September 20th, this is the date that Tylee's JP Morgan Chase account was closed. Per records provided by Colby and also iCloud account information, there's text message information regarding a phone associated with Tylee, phone associated with Ms. Daybell and Colby, and I'd be paraphrasing, but I asked Tylee to Venmo you. I sent Tylee money to Venmo you. On October 10th,
I told you guys. I told you. I know it's not you guys, but it's just other people on the internet, man. Piss me the frick off.
Information provided by Venmo. They can track your IP information. An IP login transfer of funds from Tylee's account to Colby takes place in Kansas City, Missouri. And I noted the marriage of Chad and Lori.
So you guys know. So this is an interesting thing, okay? I learned this later on, by the way. This is not when I was LDS. I figured out all this stuff doing LDS research, trying to understand the roots of Lori and Chad. So I started doing my research on the LDS church lore history. And what I found out is that they believe that Kansas City, Missouri is Zion. They believe that is where the Zion, that's the 1,000-year reign of Christ. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost 90% sure that they believe it's Zion. So that's why they were going back and forth to Kansas City, Missouri, even though, Jabba the Hutt was saying it's going to be the safe place in Rexburg, right outside where he is. So come on, bro. Like that, what are you going to Missouri for? Like, what are you ushering in? You know what I mean? What do you what are you doing there? What do you think that is? I don't know. I just don't understand that. Like, they're definitely ushering in something, but what are you doing there? Are you just going to the temple? Are you there praying? Like, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? And again, a lot of what they did was follow a lot of footsteps of Joseph Smith where he was in these different places. So that was like the path. I think they were trying to emulate him or something, or trying to like copy or mirror a lot of what he was doing. But I don't know. That's what it is. And she was, man. I've told you guys this story. I cry every time I tell this story, but I was like 18, maybe barely 18. We all went to Ross for Christmas, and we were like supposed to pick out a bunch of clothes for ourselves and stuff. So I found a bunch of Jordans there, and I really wanted to get them with my budget, but it went over budget. And so I was gonna go put them back because I was like, whatever, it's like it's over budget, and I really was trying to figure out which ones I was gonna get. And Tylee took her rest of her budget and just said, use my money for Colby. And it was like one of the most, she was like little, like 14 maybe. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. She's like, no, I want to give you, that's my gift. Like, I'll give it to you. And she just had a big heart. I felt so selfish, bro. I was like, can't believe my little sister was like, here, Colby, just, get what you want. Merry Christmas, and I was so selfish thinking about, I wanted these stupid Jordans, so you learn a lot. And that was always something I was like, I wouldn't have done that at her age, probably. I was way too self-involved as a teenager to have really thought that way. So she's a super, super sweetheart.
On 11/5/2019, and then the discovery of the children's remains on Mr. Daybell's property on June 9th of 20.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Your Honor, I have a few more charts. It might be a good time to take
Yeah,
the
she's
mid-morning break.
so sweet, man.
Okay, I'll agree with that. So we'll go ahead and take our mid-morning recess for about 20 minutes or so, and then you can continue with your examination after that. Ms. Rawlings, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, please.
Independence, Missouri is. I know it's in Missouri, so they were definitely following that path for sure. Whatever that whole Zion idea is and all that stuff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Rawlings.
Thank you. Mr. Douglas, with respect to Tylee's finances.
And here's another thing, and this bothers me. This is just a little bit of a side argument. What bothers me is the idea that everything for them was like in America. Everything was conveniently in America. If we really look at the Bible, none of it's in America. Like, none of that exists here. So it's just weird that everything has to be in America. Like, that's not any of what the Bible is. The entire Bible is outside of America. So I just think it's interesting that whole lore idea is everything is here and everything is like special about America. But I don't really understand that. You know what I mean? Like, where did you get this idea that it's all America? That just doesn't make sense to me.
You recall when the automatic payments for the Jeep stopped?
The final payment stopped on September 1st of 2019, and that was due to the lack of funds in the account.
Thank you. Now, are you familiar with the timeline of the death for J.J. Vallow?
Yes, ma'am.
When approximately did he die?
Approximately September 23rd of 19.
And did you create a timeline
there's a whole
referencing major
There's a whole
financial and
freaking
other
world
events?
out there, and Jesus did not walk in America. He didn't do that. He lived on the other side of the planet. And I'm just gonna say it. I hope this is not a huge debate or to make anybody feel any type of way, but like, can we just like acknowledge that Jesus was not white? There's almost no shot that he'd be white. That doesn't make any logical sense. Like, you see all these beautiful pictures of him, but like realistically, the Bible clearly states that Jesus was like very clearly blended in with the crowd. So we know in Jerusalem there was not just a bunch of white people walking around. Just being real. Just being real. He wouldn't have been a white guy. And that's just logic, right? He wasn't gorgeous. This is all biblical, by the way. He wasn't gorgeous, and that was Lori's biggest thing. Like, she's like, Jesus was so gorgeous and so handsome and all this stuff. And it's like, regardless of that, regardless if Jesus was handsome or not, that doesn't really need to be a debate. It was very clear that Jesus was not on the earth to pull in any sympathy or I'm beautiful and people like me because I'm beautiful. He really, really was like the most common looking person. It's very clear. He wasn't super tall. He wasn't like sticking out. So you can't really come into a place and say, well, he was whatever, right? That just doesn't make any logical sense.
That's for JJ.
I did.
And during the break, Your Honor, I took the opportunity to try and get my computer up. So hopefully that's a little more clear for everyone. May I publish Exhibit 113, Your Honor?
Yes.
Exactly. But it doesn't matter about the color.
Is this the timeline that you created for JJ?
It's just clear
Yes,
that
ma'am.
that's to have him be super fair, just doesn't make
When did
logical
JJ
sense.
start receiving Social Security benefits?
JJ's benefits started getting
Exactly.
paid into Ms. Vallow's account on September 18th of 2019.
All right. And what account was that?
The BBVA 3229 account.
And if you know, where do the funds come from for Social Security?
The passing of his father, Charles Vallow.
Okay. And who pays the Social Security funds out?
Social Security pays those in their direct deposit.
Okay. And Social Security comes from
Charles's
Oh,
employment.
sorry. Okay. Can you walk me through the timeline for JJ that you created?
Yes, ma'am. And I apologize. Some of these charts are going to be repetitive, so some of the information the jury is going to see multiple times. Again, the passing of Charles Vallow and the text message exchange between Ms. Vallow and Mr. Daybell regarding the $4,000 of Social Security funds. JJ had
Exactly.
a pet or had a dog named Bailey. We found a message dated August 9th of the attempted sale of Bailey. Again, noting the Miss Vallow's life insurance that was supposed to be 100% to Colby Ryan. On August 14th of 2019 was again when the application for the rental in Rexburg stated that Miss Vallow was receiving $5,740 of Social Security funds. The move of her and the children, again, as you stated earlier, the beginning deposits of the Social Security funds for both Lori and JJ into the BBVA account ending 3229, the approximate passing of JJ, the wedding of 11/5 of 19, and then again the recovery of JJ's remains on June 9th of 20.
Okay, thank you. Are all of the Social Security benefits paid out after the deaths of Tylee and JJ and associated with those children deposited into that Compass account or BBVA Compass account that you referenced?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you, if I may, what's been admitted as State's Exhibit 114.
Yeah, exactly. Dude did not have a single working bone in his body where he would do something.
Do you recognize that document?
I do.
So instead of go make a life for yourself and be an adult, he'd rather literally murder people and take their money.
Get it a little bit. Zoom in a little bit more. Oh, that. Okay. Did you prepare this document?
I did.
And you prepared this document in the course of your work as a forensic accountant?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell the jury what the contents of that document are?
So these are reflective of the payments that were paid into Ms. Vallow's BVA Compass account ending 3229. The transactions were labeled as such under those SS.
I'm not kidding when I tell you, like, the infatuation of Jesus being this beautiful person was a lot. And again, why does he have to be good looking, right? Why would he have to be this like gorgeous Fabio long-haired man? Like, no, that doesn't have to be the case. You can only love someone if they're beautiful. They're only important if they're beautiful. Does that make any sense? And everybody has a different perspective of beauty. So what are you talking about here?
Say Treasury 310, and then also labeled the TSC Treasury 449. These are payments that were deposited into Miss Vallow's account a month after the passing of the children.
And can you just note for the record the dates on those?
Yes.
Why does he have to be a
Tylee's
romance novel?
Tylee's payments were different dates than JJ and Miss Vallow's. Tylee's payments were October 23rd of 19, November 27th of 19, December 24th of 19, January 22nd of 20. JJ's were October 16th of 19, or November 20 of 19, December 18th of 19, January 15th of 20. And then Ms. Vallow's were October 16th of 19, November 20th of 19, December 18th of 19, and finally January 15th of 20.
And you have mentioned this, but what date were Chad and Lori married?
November 5th of 19.
And can you tell me how many payments were received into Lori Vallow's Compass account on behalf of Tylee Ryan after her death?
Yeah, that's
4.
wild, right?
And what was the amount of the Social Security payment for each month that was received for Tylee?
You know, if you've
So
ever
in-
seen her Instagram, I wore a towel. We were on the boat. I had a not a headdress, but it looked like a headdress. It was my towel over my head, draping down like normal. And she took a picture of it and she was obsessed with it. She's like, "You look like Jesus." And I'm like, "What?" And that was like 16. I'm like, "I do not look like Jesus. Like, I am like 50% white, something like that, 60% white. Come on." That's weird. It's weird. It was there for a long time. Yeah, if you've seen that picture, it's just me like looking off and she's like, "You look like Jesus." What the frick? I don't know what Jesus. Have you seen Jesus? No, you haven't. You're a liar. You haven't seen him.
October
haven't
through
seen him,
December of
so-
19, she received 1,859 a month. In January of 20, she received 1,888.
And what's the total amount of those payments?
The total being $7,465.
And how many monthly payments were there for JJ?
4.
And what was the
Hold on,
Social
$7,000 and $4,000 a month? Is that what I just heard? Or is that over a few months? Damn. She did all that for money, bro. All of it. So she could have that amount coming in. There was I'm
Security
not gonna
payment
say
for
it.
each month that was received for JJ Vallow?
Let's listen.
October through December of 19th of 19, and finally January 15th of 20.
And you have mentioned this, but what date were Chad and Lori married?
November 5th of 19.
And can you tell me how many payments were received into Lori Vallow's Compass account on behalf of Tylee Ryan after her death?
4.
And what was the amount of the Social
4
Security
payments.
payment for each month that was received for Tylee Ryan?
So in October through December of 19, she received 1,859 a month. In January of 20, she received 1,888.
And what's the total amount of
She just how can you stomach that? How can you know what you did to your daughter and your son, and you're just walking around and getting their deposits? Does that not haunt you? I can't even imagine hurting my children, but to do that and then spend the money. You did this for a number on an account, a digital number on an account. And you literally are absolutely, how can you be so cold? How can you be that cold? I don't understand that.
those payments?
The total being $7,465.
And how many monthly payments were there for JJ?
4.
And what was the Social Security payment for each month that was received for JJ Vallow?
October through December of 19, it was $1,951 a month. And January of 20, it was $1,982.
And what was the total amount of those payments?
The $7,835.
And how many payments did Lori receive for caregiver benefits?
She received 4.
And what was the total amount of those payments?
The total amount would be the $3,902 and the $3,343.05.
So she had $3,000 coming in. She had $1,800 and whatever JJ's was. So she's sitting on how much is that, chat? Freaking, I don't know. I didn't do enough math. Was it like around 5,000 to 6,000 is a good guess? I think they said it in court. I forgot the number. Yeah, dude, that's bananas. That doesn't make any sense.
How many payments did Lori receive after she was married to Chad?
2.
And what is the total amount of those payments?
The 334305.
And what is the total amount of the Social Security payments that Lori Vallow received from October 19th, or excuse
So
me,
they were
October
going to take, yeah, so they got a
until
payout from Tammy, correct? And I'm not going to use this ever disrespectfully to her. So but then they took Tammy. Chad's getting all of that up front, correct? He got the sum, he got the whole thing. Then they thought they were going to get all of Charles's money. Then they thought they were going to get, and then they were collecting the money. And then they were going to try to kill Brandon and take all of his money and just put it in a pot and just get everybody to move out to Rexburg. What do you think would have happened if Chad had more time? If they would have a little more time to keep going, man, who knows? Who knows what would have happened? Yeah, that's a lot of money to have in cash. And the fact that you could spend it or want that money, oh my gosh. You're just going to kill everybody and take all their money. That's crazy stuff. That's beyond crazy.
February 2020.
That would be the $22,545.05.
And that is believed to be after the deaths of JJ and Tylee, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that on that document?
It is.
Did you create an exhibit that summarizes the Social Security information and timing of the deaths?
I did.
May I publish exhibit 115?
True, but they were cheating hard, so they must have.
Yes.
That's what's weird about it.
Can you walk me through this timeline?
Yes, ma'am. Starting again with the passing of Joe Ryan and the receiving of the Social Security benefits by Tylee,
Probably.
June 14th of 18. The opening of Ms. Vallow's BBVA account, October 23rd of 18.
Exactly. Well, Tylee did this to JJ, and then we had to get rid of it. So you have no idea the days I spent crying and the hurt I've been through. But then we went to Hawaii a week, two weeks later, and we had to get married to get me over my pain. And I just kept their money because I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to go to the police because they're my children and they're my children. So I shouldn't have to go to the police. Like, shut up.
Life insurance policy of Joe Ryan,
None of
October
that's the thing,
26th of
she'll
18.
never be able to pitch anything because there's too much already contradicting it.
And then moving forward to Charles Vallow's passing, July 11th of 19. Regarding Charles's passing, Miss Vallow's had a Bank of Hawaiian credit card that was used to pay for the services of Mr. Vallow on July 12th of 19. The same day, we recovered a phone call between Mr. Daybell and the mortuary requesting information about services. Again, July 12th of 19.
Are you shitting me? Chad Daybell called about memorial services for Charles? Chad Daybell called for memorial services for Charles. That's beyond. There's a recording of it. No shot. You're cheating, married, cheating, soon to be husband called to inquire about cremation for the husband that he plotted and planned to help kill so he could be with the wife. What the hell is that?
Again, on July 18th, the text message of the 4,000 Social Security funds and no life insurance, the final deposit of Social Security funds into Tylee's JP Morgan account on July 24th of 19, Ms. Vallow's $2 million life insurance policy being transferred to Colby Ryan as a 100% again. Again, on the rental agreement or the rental application, of 5740 Social Security payments. Tylee's.
Mr. Douglas, can I just ask you, we talked a little bit about this before, but who pays the Social Security benefits?
The Social Security Administration.
And where do those funds come from?
The employment of the parent or the guardian deceased.
And the Social Security Administration is an arm of what agency?
Outside the federal government?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so when the Social Security payments are being deposited to Lori's account, those are being paid from who?
As far as the deceased and their prior employment records, out of the Social Security Administration.
Thank you. And then I think I interrupted.
We have
you
our
about,
email, Bree.
Tylee Social Security payments.
I got to go
being,
through the email.
Deposited into Lori's
I want to make sure you guys know.
Again,
I
August
forget about each
28th.
one.
This is the
There's a lot. I have to find the time to sit down and read each one. And I like to be able to respond to you guys too. So I just try to pick a time when I've got some extra time and actually read your guys' emails. So if you email, it's askcolbyj@gmail.com. You guys send me your emails. I've connected with a lot of you guys. You've been amazing. Just be patient with me. And also, you guys toasted me. The P.O. Box. I told you guys yesterday, everybody toasted me because I got P.O. Box 69. I did not pick my P.O. Box. Okay, we paid for it online. We showed up. We had to get a certain size, and she gave me 69. That's her fault. Not me. Not me. Anyway, we got our address up on the community tab. I wish I could just link it for you guys here, but yeah, they made it 69, bro. I got toasted. My friends were like, P.O. Box 69, huh? When I called them last night, I'm like, come on, bro. Come on. I didn't even think twice about it until somebody said it. You guys are like, best number ever. I was like, come on, bro. Oh, man. That's ridiculous. But yeah, we finally got our P.O. Box. So that's we're gonna go. We're gonna go. We're going, man. We're probably gonna go every week, no matter what, and just make it part of our stop. That's gonna be a big plan. So, but it's a bigger P.O. box. We got like the biggest one you could get because we didn't know how that works. So, yeah, bro. Oh man, I shouldn't have said anything. I knew the squad was gonna come at me for that one. Listen, I didn't pick it. I didn't pick none of that. I literally did not pick that. Oh, she sent the call. Ooh, Bree, we might have to play it right now. Why don't we play it at the end? I'll pull it up, the link you sent on here. And hey, don't be starting all that now. I promise you, I did not pick that number. And guess what? When she said it, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna find 69, and I'm gonna put the key in it, make sure it works, put the other key in it. And then when I post it, you guys are like, best number ever. Or you just roasted me, one of the two.
Initial deposit of Tylee Social Security funds into Ms. Vallow's 3229 account with BBVA. Again, the move up to Rexburg. This is, again, the text message between Colby Ryan asking Tylee for a Venmo payment. And again, Tylee texting back saying that she doesn't have the money, that mom gets her money now. It was on this same date that we learned there was an increase to Tammy Daybell's life insurance policy on 9/8.
Not lying.
On 9/9, again, the passing of Tylee Ryan. And as I noted earlier, with Tylee's Venmo account, she had one funding source, which was her JP Morgan account. On 9/10, per records provided by Venmo, her BBVA account was added as a funding source. On 9/18, as discussed earlier, this is when Ms. Vallow and JJ Social Security payments start getting deposited into her account. 3229, again with the text messages regarding the transfer of funds to Colby. The very next day on 9/23, the passing of JJ. And then, as stated, these are
Thank you.
dates given to me by law enforcement. The attempted shooting of Ms. Tammy Daybell on October 9th of 2019. As I stated earlier, Tylee's Venmo had activity in Kansas City, Missouri on 10/10 with a transfer or a Venmo payment to Colby. The passing of Ms. Daybell, October 19th of 19. Chad Morey's wedding on 11/5 of 19. We received or found an email from Mr. Daybell to a rental company by the name of Kauai Dreams, dated 11/8, asking
Guys,
for.
I don't know what this is. Do you know how many times this idea of a pool party happened and then they told me about it I think I heard about it somewhere, or Kelsey told me. I don't know how I know about the pool party. I just heard about it later on. I was like, bro, I was there till like, I got there around 7:30. I must have been there for about an hour and there was nobody there. So unless they went outside and had a huge party with whoever in that group, I don't know. I don't know what that's about. But I was being told that, oh, you went over there, you had a pool party. Yeah, mother effer. I had a pool party. After that, I had a party. I could barely breathe. I didn't know what to do with myself. I've never been more shocked in my life. I drove home. I don't think I thought about driving at all. My brain was gone. I called Kelsey. I came home. I sat on the floor and cried my eyes out for the first time to Kelsey. That was one of the hardest days of my life. So I don't know what that is, but again, I don't know anything about a pool party at all. Never, ever, ever, ever heard that happening from anybody inside of any group that I knew, meaning family or anybody. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know about that. I didn't hear about that till way later. So if there's a pool party, whatever that means, there you go. I have no idea. They must have had a 9 o'clock party.
Information for a clean couple with no pets and no kids. And then on 12/20, this is when the Rexburg Police Department announced their investigation. The first search of Chad Daybell's property took place January 3rd of 20. And again, on 6/9 of 20 was the second search of the property, and the remains of the children were found.
Now, Mr. Douglas, we've talked about Venmo a couple of times during your review of these exhibits. Did you also prepare an exhibit referencing money being sent from these Venmo accounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I publish Exhibit 117?
Yes, you may.
What is Venmo?
To put it simple, Venmo is an app that you can.
It's wild because JJ would have been asleep. He was asleep when I was there. So when the hell did they do that? When the hell did they have the party? Lori never stayed up late. So, and you're telling me Alex with his destroyed head was out there? Whatever he did to his head, cut himself? That doesn't make any sense. That just doesn't make any logical sense. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I don't know. But I'll tell you that that would just be really odd to go and have a party that late. And again, a party after killing someone is next level evil.
Put on your phone, that would be a person-person or a peer-to-peer transfer of funds. There's one that you have to add the funding source, i.e. your credit card, your bank account, and then transfer money to somebody else with another Venmo account into their holding, and then transfer into their initial bank account, or they can make purchases straight from Venmo.
All right. And on this exhibit, what are the funding sources for the Venmo activity?
So Ms. Vallow had 2 Venmo accounts, and on the top one, at Lori-Vallow, there were multiple funding sources, bank accounts or credit cards, as I stated earlier. The initial one starting January of 2019 through, so per the information provided by Venmo, January 4th through January 29th of 19, the JP Morgan Chase account ending 0377 was the funding source for that. Then from March 30th to May 5th, this transitioned to a funding source of Ms. Vallow's First Hawaiian Bank ending 4620 to be transferred and changed to another JP Morgan Chase account held by Ms. Vallow ending in 0769. And there towards the end, there is one attempt on August 24th to use another JP Morgan Chase account or credit card held by Ms. Vallow ending in 7213.
Okay. Are there other accounts listed on this exhibit?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Vallow had a second Venmo account that at Lori-Vallow-1 between February 20th of 19 and May 19th of 19. This was active with her BBVA account ending 3229. And then, as I've noted on here, Venmo had noted failed attempts of transfers of funds with prior, as they listed, duplicate card attempts, meaning another card that was already on the account had been tried to be used again with failed attempts on that. And then Tylee, as I stated before, had her own Venmo account. Her only funding source while she was alive was the JP Morgan Chase account ending 3918. And that was active prior to, but this is reflective of January 7th through the use of August 7th. And then, as I stated, her account, her BBVA account ending 5794 was added September 10th, a day after the believed passing of Tylee, and that was used until the end of 2019.
What did you learn in tracking payments that were made from Lori's accounts?
Lori's two accounts favored Colby or Kelsey Benson, who is Colby's spouse or significant other. Before Colby had an active Venmo account, the payments went to Ms. Benson, and they are more often and larger payments.
And what did you learn in tracking payments from Tylee's accounts?
Tylee's accounts and her payments included other individuals, her friend, Ms. Kennedy, and McKenna Webb. As you can see depicted on here, there's less payments and by far a lesser amount being transferred.
What else stood out to you in compiling this information?
So after the believed passing of Tylee, this is when both of Ms. Vallow's accounts cease, and Tylee's account again has the new funding source of her BBVA account ending 5794 added, and Colby Ryan being the sole receiver of those funds. Between the times of September 10th and December 18th, there's a transfer or 29 transfers totaling $5,940.
In your review of finances, were you able to track other occasions when Lori was using Tylee's funds or a debit card?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they?
So as I refer to brick and mortar purchases, there were two purchases at Costa Vida. There was a late payment with the rental company of Blue Sky Property that was made, and also a couple of PayPal purchases that, after research, we found was a transfer of money to, or Colby used that credit card information to buy his birthday present, which ended up being a lightsaber.
And in your review of Lori Vallow's finances, did any
I didn't think anything of it. I told you I wasn't thinking all this stuff
other
through.
purchases stand out to you?
Yes, ma'am.
What were they?
Multiple attempts or purchases of malachite rings.
Ugh, not the
Have you heard the
stupid
name
things.
Chad Daybell?
I have.
Have you heard the name Alex Cox?
I have.
Did you become involved in an investigation regarding those individuals?
Yes, ma'am.
What were some of your duties or your assignments with regard to that investigation?
Those records also were included, as I stated earlier, in my research of the nearly 80 bank accounts and credit cards that I've researched.
What did you learn in reviewing Alex Cox's finances?
While reviewing Alex Cox's finances, I discovered that he had ended his employment with his prior employer and had taken out what ended up being a deposit of $21,000 in a loan. That was what the funds that he lived off.
Turning your attention to review of Chad Daybell's financial accounts, are you aware of whether search warrants were obtained for Mr. Daybell's financial accounts?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you request those search warrants?
Not initially, but I did request follow-up ones.
Did you review the responsive documents to those search warrants?
I did.
And did you discuss that with other officers?
Yes, ma'am.
In your review, did you notice any activity on his accounts or others that caught your attention prior to Tammy Daybell's passing with regard to Chad?
It was more of what I didn't find on his accounts. Yeah.
Okay. What was that?
So we found regarding Ms. Vallow's credit card statements, flights with regarding Mr. Daybell from Idaho to Arizona.
And those credit cards were not in Chad Daybell's name.
No, ma'am.
Were they associated with any of his accounts that you could tell?
No.
So who were those accounts associated with?
So two of the flights were purchased regarding credit card held by Ms. Vallow and joint account holder Alex Cox. And one flight was used regarding a credit card that was associated with Ms. Vallow and Mr. Vallow.
Charles Vallow?
Yes, ma'am.
So she
You know
still
who
had a
was
joint
making
account with Charles?
Payments on the card that Lori and Alex shared.
Primarily it was Alex, but there was one payment by Ms. Vallow.
Okay. And prior to Tammy's death, did you notice anything in the financial records with regard to purchase of a cell phone?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that?
Regarding Chad Daybell's business account with Spring Creek, there is a purchase dated 9/18 with 9/18 of 2019 at the Rexburg Walmart in the amount of $42 and change. And then we followed up with requesting information of Walmart and discovered that was the purchase of a cell phone.
And what information did you receive from Walmart?
They provided a receipt with the date and time.
That's one we just saw, dude. And Brandon's
And what
phone,
date
right?
did Lori start receiving the Social Security funds for her and JJ?
The same day, September 18th of 2019.
What other activity did you review with Chad Daybell's finances before Tammy's death?
The application or the change in the application of her life insurance.
Yep.
Did you create a financial timeline referencing
Before, I think it's a little jumbled because the dates are being mentioned, but we're hearing so many dates and it's not like linear. So there's a lot of dates being just thrown out there. So this is probably before Charles had passed, because they didn't stay in Arizona very long after that. So that obviously makes more sense that it would have been maybe before all of this started. But yeah, man, all of this is way too much to process.
this activity?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I publish demonstrative exhibit 116?
Yes.
Can
you walk me through the first part of that timeline?
Yes, ma'am. October 26th of 18 is believed to be the date of where Chad and Lori met at a conference in Utah. Initially, as I discussed earlier, Lori was on a joint account with Mr. Cox, and the purchase of a flight on February 23rd of 19 using Alex Cox's Barclay card was used to purchase Lori's flight from Arizona to Idaho Falls. The March 14th of 2019, Lori's account on that joint account with Lori's card on that joint account with Alex Cox was used to purchase a flight for Chad to Arizona. The passing of Charles Vallow, July 11th, again with the Value of the Mortuary phone call by Mr. Daybell, and the purchase of the mortuary or the payment to the mortuary on July 12th of 19. July 18th, again with the payment information of the Social Security funds and not receiving the life insurance. Again, Lori's this time Lori's Bank of Hawaii credit card was used to purchase a flight for Mr. Daybell to Arizona on July 20th of 19. Then this card that she shared with Alex Cox again, Lori. Sorry. To Arizona. July 20th of 19.
And then what is the next date of significance on your timeline?
August 2nd of 2019, Lori's card is used to purchase another flight for Chad to Arizona. August 10th of 19, Lori's card is used to purchase a flight for Lori to Idaho Falls. And then the move of her and the children, August 31st. As I discussed earlier, on 9/8 was the increase of Tammy's life insurance. And then we learned that that was retroactive, that it would have taken place or would have taken effect September 1st.
Okay. And you already answered my next questions. So Tammy's life insurance increase was requested. I'm sorry, what date was that?
September 8th of 19.
And that was retroactive to what date?
September 1st of 19.
And do you recall what date Tammy passed away?
October 19th of 2019.
After Tammy passed away, were you able to discern or tell from the financial records who was paying for Chad and Lori's expenses and activities?
I think after
Both of them were making purchase.
he took Tammy, yeah, he had more money at that point. What's crazy to me is, though, didn't they burn that money like almost instantly, all of it? Because they went and spent so much money on Hawaii life and condos, and they just burned every penny of it. They didn't deserve a penny of it, not a penny of it, but I know that they probably burned through it quickly because they're idiots.
But by far the larger purchases were paid for by Chad Daybell.
I know.
And after Tammy passed away, was there any other activity that you noticed in the Daybell accounts that caught your attention?
This family trip to Knott's Berry Farm.
Go on Zillow right now and look for a condo, and you tell me what you see, because it's expensive, man. Especially now, but it's always been expensive. But Hawaiian life is more expensive. Like everything is imported, especially for Kauai. Like everything is way marked up because of the import tax you have to have from everywhere. So you're spending way more money on groceries, way more money on your rent, way more money on your gas, everything. It's expensive to live there.
Farms.
And did you reference this activity on this timeline?
I did.
Is the laser pointer still?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you just reference it on the timeline?
Right here.
And could you tell from the financial documents who paid for that trip?
Chad Daybell.
All right. And in between the time of Tammy's increase, which we talked about, and the trip to Knott's Berry Farm, are there any other financial events of significance on your timeline that we've not
Knott's
gone
Berry
over yet?
Farm.
The deposits of the 2 life insurance payments deposited into Mr. Daybell's accounts.
Okay. And was there anything else
this a
that
true
Chad had
number,
done regarding
Betty?
finances?
Are you kidding me? Is that an accurate number? That's unbelievable. You're telling me from October to February, you burned $400,000, more than $400,000. How the hell did you even accomplish that? How even renting a condo, it doesn't cost you $50,000. They didn't buy any properties. They didn't buy a car, right? I mean, I don't know. How could you even accomplish that?
That caught your attention in October?
The deposit of Chad filed with Primerica Life Insurance, the life insurance claim October 24th of 19, and files with Life Map Insurance October 30th of 19.
All right.
Oh,
Did he start refinance on his home at
interesting. Interesting. I'm not going to say anything about that.
some point?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Daybell had attempted to refinance his house October 8th of 2019.
Okay. And did you also review a Mountain America account associated with Chad Daybell?
Yes, ma'am.
When did Chad receive the insurance payments for Tammy's death?
Oh, shit.
The initial he received.
He wants to talk garbage. Okay. Keep talking. Motherfricker.
Received November 1st, or was deposited into his account November 1st of 2019, and the second was deposited into his account November 16th of 2019.
And I know we covered this earlier, but what date were Chad and Lori married?
November 5th of 19.
Did you, I think that we may have also mentioned this, but did you review any other records that were made in reference to the marriage or living in Hawaii?
Oh, you fix that. Homie,
Regarding the Kauai Dreams.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. The email to Kauai Dreams on November 8th of 2019 saying clean couple, no pets, no kids.
Did you notice any activity that caught your attention with regard to Mr. Daybell's accounts around June 9th of 2020?
Yes, ma'am. During the search of the property, approximately between 9:50 to 10 o'clock in the morning, there are 3 transfers from Mr. Daybell's Mountain America Credit Union account to his 3 older children in the value of $8,000 each.
Okay. And I'm sorry, you said what time those transfers were made, but can you say that again?
It was between 9:50 and 10 a.m.
I'm not trying to point a finger at her right now. Just, if you're gonna talk crap, let's not be a glass house over there.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if anything else happened around June 9th of 2020?
So that's when the remains of the children were found on the property.
And what time did law enforcement arrive on the Daybell property?
I believe 7 a.m.
How long did officers remain on the Daybell property searching on June 9th, 2020?
I believe till about 5 p.m.
So those transfers would have occurred as officers were searching?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall, I think you might have mentioned this, I'm sorry, what was the amount on the transfers that were made to the 3 older children?
$8,000 each.
And do you recall after that $24,000 had been transferred, how much money was left in that account?
There's a little over $4,400 left.
Your Honor, may I have just a brief moment to confer?
Yes.
Learning a lot, man.
Mr. Douglas, if you know, on that Knott's Berry Farm trip, do you recall who?
It's not that even that much though. $430,000 and $8,000 a piece. You're still burning your. Oh my gosh! Not that I'd advocate that they save. It's not like I approve their money at all. I'm just saying you'd have to actually actively work your butt off to spend that much money. That is unheard of. We're talking about $400,000 plus dollars. 400,000 plus dollars that you'd have to burn from whatever date Chad got that at the end of October to what, February, whenever, or March when Lori got arrested. Can we not do that? Math is insane. How do you even, without buying frivolous things, even if you bought your condo, which would have been a majority of your money, if not all of it, they didn't buy it. He only had his house payment he probably had the entire time. How did he do it? How did they accomplish that much money leaving their account? I don't understand how that's even possible. Even if you paid for like 20 people, well, okay, let's say you paid for like 5 extra people's lives. That's still quick. That's quick.
Who was involved in going to that trip?
So there were 7 tickets purchased. Mr. Daybell, 5 of his children, and Miss Vallow.
So, you know what? Shut the bro. Y'all were talking so much smack on her. You went to fucking Knott's Berry Farm as a family together with his mistress that you didn't think was a bad person and it's all her fault. You went on a family trip in October on the day after? Oh, hell no. Don't be. Oh, keep your mouth shut, dog. Keep it shut and glue it. You have no right to talk. You went with the mistress on a family vacay? Yeah, shut your damn mouth for real. I'm done. It's not that I'm going to bash you, but shut up for life. That's bullshit and you know it. You guys didn't give a frick, bro. Hell no. Yeah, we're not the same. We are not the same. You're not like us. They not like us, baby. Hell no. You talked so much crap in that interview about her when you went on a family trip with her ass. Are you kidding me? What? That's like if I went on a family trip with Chad Daybell right after Charles. Hey, Chad. Hey, Daddy Chad. Let's go on vacation. It's all bubbles over here. Bitch, please.
I don't believe I have any other questions, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, I told you guys I wasn't going to try to cuss. I'm sorry. And I wasn't calling Emma a beat.
Cross-examination.
I'm just saying it. I got a little Mace Windu in me. What's that dude's name? What's that dude's name? Not Denzel. What's Mace Windu's name, bro?
Your Honor, I don't have any questions for.
I don't know what I don't
Mr.
forgot.
Douglas.
All right. That will conclude your testimony today then. Thank you for appearing. Is this
Samuel L. Jackson.
is going to be
Thank you.
recalled or
Thank
can I be
you. Thank you.
excused? All right. We're
Oh, hell no. I told you guys I'm not trying to cuss. I'm serious. I'm really trying to work on it. It's just these moments are just explosive because it's a lot of held in emotion. No way you're talking. There's no way you can talk, bro. You're not like Colby, but you took all that money. You're not like me, but you went on vacation with mommy Lori and went on a family trip with her. But then now it's all her fault? Oh, hell no. You don't talk. You better keep it moving. You better keep it moving for real. All of you. I'm not trying to disrespect them right now. I'm sure at some point, either someone tells them what I say or not. I'm not disrespecting the people, but do not talk down on anybody when that is what you did. And then your interview tries to say Lori set up your dad and he was framed. You're telling me you went to Knott's Berry Farm with the framer as a family and your mom had just died? That's not an absolutely burning red flag to you. You're all adults. That's a burning flag, dude. Burning bright red flag. There's no shot that you could even tell me that that doesn't make you feel weird. Oh, hell no. I'm not trying to even talk bad about them, dude. It's just like, dude, stay in your lane, though. Like, don't talk. And again, she said one thing, but who knows how much more was said after that. They probably hate me because I don't like their dad. Whatever. You can hate me if you want to, but just, be humble. Sit down. You're talking about some stuff that doesn't make any sense. How can you possibly talk in this situation? You even think that you did the right things. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Brandon. Again, there could be some serious, horrible things that they've gone through. Their father's a psychopath. Hopefully they bust out of that. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not putting up with that. I'm not gonna even listen to that. That alone, like every time I think of these scenarios to myself, that alone was enough. Like a lot of these situations just singularly would be red flags. They would just stick out and say, that's a huge red flag. We know there's no way you can tell me that's not a red flag. But all that money going to you, seeing your mom, knowing they went and got married, her coming over all the time. Didn't they say that she like brought cookies over or something like that after Tammy? Like she came and visited the family. Just want to check on you guys. Here's the cookies. Douche, 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 douche. Find out about me. This is why it's been so lonely, bro. This is why it's a lonely thing. It's like, what the hell's going on with everybody? Everybody's on a different page. Like, come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Anyway, that was interesting to listen to. I have always wondered how the finances worked. It makes me feel, it really just confirms the fact that they really planned it, and that's tough. They really planned this out. There was so much thought, and there's a lot of carelessness across the board. When you look at the, like, Lori, okay, so let's just zoom to this point. Lori had kids and a husband. She gave not up. She didn't give it up. She took all their lives and then goes and so she can be a part of Chad's family and have new kids. Did she think that I was just going to join in? That, well, if I was shut up at that house, I would have came in with one thing. I would have had Wolverine claws, baby. I went like, couldn't even do it right. Freaking Wolverine, baby. I'm slicing up, baby. Oh, I'd never hurt anybody. That's what's so funny. I'm not someone that would hurt people, but these people piss me the F off. That's nuts. This is nuts. What did they think was going to happen? I always will ask this question to the end of time. What did she think? What did they think was going to happen? Did she think I was going to come through and be like, hey, family, how are you? Ugh. Every time I listen to these things, they're always worse. It's so crazy that it always gets worse. Every single time we watch an episode of this, every time we go through the next part, there is no shot. I'm like, there's no way it can always be worse. And it's always way, way worse than I thought it was. Way, way worse than I thought. Yeah, I saw that. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let me do that. Let me pull up that phone call before we go. You guys are awesome for emailing me that. I think 2 of you emailed me just now about that. So give me 1 second. Let me just pull this up. Okay, we got it. It's 4 minutes. You guys down to watch it? You guys down to watch it real quick? This is supposedly the phone call that Chad called in Charles's behalf. That's what you guys told me. All right, ready? Let's go one more time. One more thing. It's only 5 minutes long. I don't even want to hear this dude talking, but we'll do it. Oh, I have to see his face. Oh, hell no. I don't like this. I don't like looking at this dude. Look at this dude. All right, ready? Oh, he's over 6 feet, baby. Oh, I'll go any weight class you want, boy. Tell me the weight class. You in the 250s? I'll get up to 250. Bring it. I'll match all that energy.
Third ring answer.
Funeral home?
Hello, my name is I'm with their calls. How can I help you today?
We just had a death in the family, and we really don't want anything but a cremation, and then to send the cremains to
I'm sorry, guys.
family.
There's no option to give it captions. I don't know if you guys can hear it. You guys hear it? There's no options. There's no options for that.
In Louisiana. Just a simple, nothing other than a cremation and sending him to his family for a service in Louisiana. So, is there any way to know a ballpark price on that?
Yes, and I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Okay, let me check.
This. Oh, if you. Oh man, my walls are coming down. I'm trying to reserve the cussing. I know. Told you I'd work on it. It's just. Did this dude just say a death in the family? Are we literally serious? What does he mean by that?
So you over to the director who can assist you with the pricing. What is your name, please?
It is Chad Daybell.
How do you spell the last name, please?
Oh, use his name.
Dabal. Daybell.
How are you related to the person who passed?
I'm his nephew.
Bitch, what? What? He called himself Dayball. Oh, what a sneaky move that was, genius. You stupid ass. Let me just take one thing and just pull it out. I'm not Daybell. I'm the ball, baby. I'm the ball. You dumb as hell is what you are. Stupid. You're the nephew? Oh my gosh. Oh my show. My.
And then also, this is for the Valley of the Suns in Chandler, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, he lives there in Chandler. I live in Iowa, so I'm just trying to help out.
Did you say Iowa?
Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, what is your uncle's name for reference, please?
He is John Dayball.
And last name?
Is this real life? It's not funny. It's so insane. It's so. Oh, I'm being driven crazy. I'm being driven crazy.
Well, Dabal.
And
The same. John.
do you have a middle name?
Myron.
Myron?
Yeah.
And Chad, what is your phone number in case we get disconnected?
Yes. This number 515.
That's like me calling somewhere and going, "Hi, my name is Colby Ren. I'm Ren, and my middle name is Dumbass."
I don't actually know my own number.
Is something funny?
Let me look real quick.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Is he at a nursing home, hospital, or residence?
He passed away in a hospital. I don't know the details. I'm just calling.
Are we not in the age of the internet? We don't have the ability to research. You didn't think anybody could ever understand that you're lying. He passed away in the hospital. You guys are
Yeah, it's
so
just
dumb. And he's
for
laughing.
to know, because sometimes it's different if it's a residential or hospital or nursing home.
I'm thinking they're sending him to the medical examiner. I'm not sure. I should have had more information before I called. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's okay.
Sorry.
Alright, cremation with shipping. To which which city?
New Orleans. Again. Mm-hmm.
Okay, one moment please, Chad, but stay on the line. Let me
Okay.
transfer you over to the director who can assist you with that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Chad.
Yeah.
Thank you for holding. I do have the director to listen to further assist you.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Female Director with Vallow Cemetery. I understand that your uncle passed away.
Yes. And I'm just starting the process for the family. He didn't have many relatives. I'm his nephew. I live in Iowa.
You live in Iowa. You're one of his This is what I mean by psychopath. The fact that you could even backstory and give yourself lore. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so mad that I'm starting to laugh. He didn't have many relatives. I'm his bitch of a nephew who lives in Iowa. I gotta stop cussing, bro. For real. I'm sorry. Who? This is crazy.
But what
I'm
they
sorry to
want
hear that.
to do, yeah, sad to see him go. Yeah, I think he's going to the medical examiner. I don't know all the details, but what the family basically wants is just to have him cremated there in Chandler and then have the cremating shipped to New Orleans, and we'll
Okay.
deal with the service
New
later.
Orleans?
So just trying to
They
get
live
a
in Lake
ballpark
Charles,
price.
dumbass.
Okay. So for a cremation, we are able to do our cremation for $1,695. Now, what that's going to include is the transportation into our care, the transportation to and from our crematory, our basic professional fees, as well as our crematory fee. Now, there's going to be a couple other charges there for you.
Okay.
So we are going to have death certificates, which are $20 a piece, with a processing fee,
Okay.
$15 permit fee,
All right.
and then we're able to do that transfer through the mail for you, and that's $150 fee for you.
Okay. Like through UPS or something, I guess.
Okay.
So close about 2,000 probably, kind of a ballpark. Yeah.
Close to, yeah.
Okay. Well, that helps me a lot. I'm going to call one or two others, but I'll get back to you if we come that direction. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If you need anything else, give me a call.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Well, what an idiot. All of them. What an idiot. Why even lie? Do you have to give that excuse? Did you have to tell them that you are, what's it called? Did you have to tell them? You had to pretend to be the nephew, so that's why you're calling? And you live in Iowa and your name is Chad DeBall? The stupidity of this group is, I don't know. I don't. I think this, it said it was the 12th. The day after is what they said in the thing. I'm almost positive. Chad DeBall, the nephew from Iowa. Chad Marin, is that what he said? Or what did he say? Who's Marin? I'll write it down for you guys real quick. It's just like you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. My name is Colby Rin, and I'm from, he even almost used Idaho, but he said Iowa. There's no other Arizona. I'm from Alaska, Colby Rin. One letter change. You don't even have a brain, do you? Zero brain. Hi, Colby and Kelsey and community. Love the hat and the shirt, Colby. Have a blessed day. DI from AZ. Thank you, Diane. I'm in pure shock. Oh, really? John? Oh, he lied about Charles's name? Oh, so he legitimately was calling for pricing. That's what it was. I thought he was calling in for Charles. That makes a little bit more sense. So he just wanted, so he made up a full lore idea to lie about what he needed to know, which was how much does it cost to cremate and ship. That's what he was trying to do. That's the most. Yes, Kathy. No, I can't. So that's why he lied about the name and the death thing. That makes more sense. I thought he legitimately called on Charles's behalf. That makes a little bit more sense. Doesn't change anything. But he just needed to, yeah, exactly. They didn't care. Are you kidding me? They took his life. Do you think they care about that? They just had to do something to get people to, I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is there. Whew. All right. Well, you guys heard a lot of painting the walls today. Told you I'm going to do better about it. That was the most unbelievable thing. I don't even know what to say. I don't really have any closing thoughts, to be honest with you. I'm pretty blown away by that. The financial records are something I was continuing to think, because that actually makes more sense of how they were moving, is what was going on with the money. That was like how they moved, was just money stuff. So I don't know, man. Crazy. They're cold, man. They're cold. Crazy cold. I've never heard anybody colder than this. Most human, literally discarding human beings like trash. You know, it doesn't get worse than that. Oh, trust me. I've been around the blue collar guys. I've been a blue collar guy. I've been in the gym, been on teams. I just don't personally like to make you guys hear it. And it's not really, it's just something I told you how to work on. So I mean that. You guys are amazing, man. I appreciate you all so much. We're going to keep going. So we're going to actually finish out this week every day. We'll be off Saturday, Sunday, and then we'll be back. And then this next few weeks is going to be really busy for our channel here. And then we're also going to have a lot going on for the media company. So it's going to be awesome. I'm also, again, I do have that announcement for you that I have a fitness channel now called Alpha Made. If you guys are into it, I'm going to put the time into it. I've actually been trying to make the content really good, and I also want it to be really good. It just takes time to do that. So with all that being said, as you love for me to say, I'm going to give you all the announcements first on, our main page on the community tab. You guys can see everything there. I think you guys are going to be pretty happy with what's coming up next. I feel like this is finally coming to a head, and it's actually the best thing that could happen, man. It's going to be a really, really good way to end this whole thing off and just be done, and we'll be moving on soon, and that feels good too. That's going to be good to let it go. So I appreciate you guys. No, Alpha Made is actually not about like being an alpha per se. It's about being the best version of yourself, becoming the leader you need to be for yourself and your family. It's all about becoming a better, more leader in your life, your community. It's about being better, but using the mental health and the physical health to give you that and learn how to become a leader, or even just the best version of you. That's what it means to me. It's not like alpha, I'm better than people, I'm the alpha male or anything like that. But alpha actually is the meaning. If you look up the alpha meaning, that's what it is. So Kelsey just posted that in the chat. I'm going to try to find it on here and post it in the pins for you guys before we leave. Thank you, Kelsey. You're very, very sweet woman. Even when you roast me, you're beautiful. And yeah, again, we'll be back tomorrow and Friday. Appreciate you guys a lot. Love you. Thank you, mods, for everything. Thank you for everybody in our family for being here. Please don't forget, if you guys are not subscribed, that's how you can send messages on here. So we have subscribers only for comments. So if you are interested in giving us your feedback and talking to us, you can do that. And when you guys do like and comment and subscribe, it helps the channel a lot. We are genuinely doing something huge, man. Like, this community is growing so fast. It means everything to me, because now we're getting new people who need what we're doing. And that's amazing, man. It's becoming this serious community where we're able to just really do be able to be a family to people, and it's huge. So when you guys do that, it does help a lot, and that means everything. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Love you. And I will see you guys in the morning tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day.